immunization.
Thank you, respected Chairperson, Dr. Tunraj Shirohi, for introducing me. Good evening, everybody. This is my privilege to receive the invitation from organizers of Indian Society of Adult Immunization to share my views on need of adult immunization. Although immunization has become a centerpiece of routine pediatric medical visits, it has not yet been well integrated into routine healthcare visits for adults. In fact, adult immunization is in its infancy, not only in India, but even in the most developed countries of the world. Only after corona pandemic hit in 2020, now people has become somewhat aware of the adult immunization. I will start with the famous quote of William Fudge's, that is, vaccines are tugboats of preventive health. William Fudge's was a great epidemiologist and formulated the design for smallpox eradication. He is one of the great epidemiologists. So with this famous quote, I will go to the need for adult immunization. So adults, actually, it constitute 60% of our population. And this adult population, except the elderly one, it constitutes the most economically productive age group. If they fall ill because of the vaccine preventable diseases, this is a great loss for a country. This vaccination or immunization for adults is one of the most convenient and safest preventive care measures in all age groups. It saves lives, improves health, and ensures long-term prosperity. They boost development both through direct medical savings, indirect economic benefits, educational attainment, labor productivity, income savings, and investment. So let us know about the burden of the adult diseases. There is very little data regarding the burden of the adult diseases. So actually, only in the US, there is some work. There is in 2015, there was 14.1 million cases of vaccine preventable diseases attributable to unvaccinated adults, which incurs an economic burden of approximately $9 billion in that single year of 2015. It is well to know that US administered at least 10 vaccines above the age of 19 years. Unvaccinated individuals are responsible for almost 80%, that is the $7.1 billion of the financial loss. So this highlights very well the magnitude of the burden, and there lies the value and importance of the adult vaccinations, which can benefit our economy very much. So the positive health impacts for vaccination include reduced mortality and morbidity. These are well recognized. But the economic burden from people who are not getting vaccinated, this is not easily recognized by the society. This burden includes unexpected increases in health expenditure, lost income as a result of reduced functional capacity. Now let us see what is the burden in India. Actually, there is no data. There is no data of the Indian population as such, but there is an estimated population of 63 million people in India, which are pushed to poverty because of the health expenses each year. and population growth and increasing life expectancy call for effective healthy aging strategies, inclusive of immunization, to reduce the burden of BPDs. Now, the burden of adult population, this is increasing day by day. It has been estimated that by 2050, the world population of adults aged 65 years and older will be more than double. That is from 700 million in 2018 to over 1.5 billion people. And global life expectancy is also increasing. It is rising from 61.7% to 72.6% in 2019. So, to keep such a huge adult population healthy and to offer them good quality of life, we have to give vaccination to prevent the vaccine preventable diseases. So what are the other needs for adult immunization? We always find a pool of unvaccinated adults in our community who were never been vaccinated in their childhood, and they did not contract any natural diseases. So they remain unvaccinated and susceptible for the vaccine preventable diseases. And when they contract the PPD, they can transmit it to the other susceptible population. And there is waning immunity. It is not that the vaccine once given, it will last for lifetime. Some of the vaccines, after a period of 10 to 12 years or 15 years, the immunity started waning. So vaccination which they received in childhood, when they reach the adolescent or adulthood, young adults, they become susceptible to the vaccine preventable diseases. It has been observed that in Soviet Russia, there was a huge outbreak of diphtheria, and which has resulted in a lot of deaths in the young adults. Next is...
Excuse me, ma'am. Dr. Reena.
Yes.
Dr. Reena, this is Sonal here. Ma'am, we are unable to see your slides. I would request you to re-share these slides, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you able to see now? Do you able to see?
Not as of. No, not as of, ma'am. I would suggest you can. Now it's completely visible.
Yes, yes.
Now it's visible.
Yes.
Now we see.
Jignesh, can you
Is it visible
confirm?
now?
Can we see the slides?
Now we see.
Yes.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, ma'am, for interrupting you, but then now you can take
That
it
is
forward.
okay. Because the slide sharing is very important. You have to see the slides as well. So I will start with this slide. So the pool of unvaccinated adults, then waning immunity, and the next is epidemiological shift. Actually, there is an epidemiological shift of the many diseases which is documented. One of the important is which has been observed in Greece. In Greece in 1975, they have started giving the MMR vaccine from 1-year-old children, but there was a 50 to 60% coverage, which has resulted in when this population, they become adults, the women, they do not have the, some of them do not have the immunity from the rubella. So it has been observed in 1993 that in Greece is having the highest number of CRS in the world. And another reason for need for adult immunization is that as the vaccine and vaccine recommendations evolve throughout time, newer vaccines are coming out every day. So their recommendations are changing. So it may be so that when that particular child, that time the newer vaccines were not available, so they have reached the adulthood. Now they can also receive these vaccines if recommended as a catch-up vaccination. And also there are increased risk factors which come with age, travel, and profession. That is, the healthcare workers are there very much susceptible for the some of the infectious diseases like the hepatitis B, varicella, etc. So what are the benefits and impacts of adult immunization? It will definitely reduce the infectious diseases in the adult population. And also the unvaccinated adults, they can spread diseases to infants as well, who have not yet been unimmunized. The most example is that pertussis. As because the pertussis is not transferred to the neonate from the mother, pertussis antibody is not transferred to the neonate from the mother, the newborn remains susceptible to get the pertussis. So if surrounding all the members, adult members, if they are vaccinated with pertussis vaccine, this is the way we can prevent the pertussis in neonate. And also the maternal immunization with Tdap also will reduce neonatal pertussis. And the next is the reduction of the emergence of the antimicrobial resistance. As we all know, some of very important example is pneumococcal vaccine, which has reduced the antimicrobial resistance against the bacterial diseases very much. And also there is example of Haemophilus influenzae type B, which has also reduced the antimicrobial resistance. And some of the viral vaccines like measles vaccine and influenza vaccines, they have also reduced the uses of the antibiotic. And also the significant progress has been made to produce the vaccines against other non-infectious diseases. Conventionally, vaccines we think is against only the infectious diseases, but there are significant progress against the non-infectious diseases like cancer, autoimmune diseases, and chronic infections. The most important examples of chronic infections are hepatitis B infection. When it stays for a long time, it can lead to hepatocellular carcinoma. And another is HPV vaccine. HPV vaccine contracted can lead to cervical cancer, and it is very much well documented. And another benefit is that the mass immunization is a known strategy to contain, control, and eliminate disease. This is the example of COVID-19 vaccine, which has definitely will agree that it has contained the somewhat the corona pandemic. One of the important aspect of maternal immunization is the adult immunization is maternal immunization. Maternal immunization, it protects both mother and baby and hence bridges both childhood and adult vaccination. It passively transfers the antibody to the neonate. Thus, it protects the tetanus, pertussis. And elimination of the maternal and neonatal tetanus is one of the most successful maternal immunization protocols. Immunization for international travelers. Now, people are moving to different countries for various reasons. For many reasons, for job purposes, for treatment purposes, there are many reasons they are moving very much to the international travelers. So travelers visiting other countries, there is a potential risk for contracting some of the infectious diseases, and recommendations depend on the region, country which they are visiting and their duration of trip and the nature of conditions of the travel. One known important vaccine we all know, that is the yellow fever vaccine, then oral poliovirus vaccine, and there are many other vaccines which are recommended for international travelers. And recently, the travelers who are going to